boys, minions, and welcome back to unMadeGaming. We are here for part 2 of Ruination, episode 1, Beacon in the Night. If you want a good beacon in the night, see Mr. Bitters. He knows where to go for it. That being said, guys, this is our patrons, this is our Twitch subscribers only West Marches post-apocalyptic Mutant Year Zero campaign. We are halfway through episode 1. If you guys want to interact with the show, you guys can defeat the Bit Boss. When you defeat the Bit Boss, you get to choose one of the 5 factions, and everyone from one of those factions gets a plus D6 at your choice. Currently, we have 2 factions in play in this episode. We have the Brotherhood of the Signal, and we have the Forerunners. We have 4 players here that are on a mission to retrieve water from a distant, unknown water source. But right now, they are smack dab in the middle of some ruined civilization about to fight their way down the barrel of a death worm. So guys, if you could, roll me a d6 for initiative. The anonymous rhino looks like he's going first. Looks like he's coming.
I have a question, Mike.
Sure.
I have this skill.
Yeah.
Measure enemy.
Okay.
And if I a true warrior knows that the battle is won even before the first blow is struck.
That's true.
Can I use this skill because it has a potential to bump my initiative if I choose?
So you can. What's cool about this is you can bump your initiative anyway. So bumping your initiative is not a thing that is exclusive to the start of combat. So on your turn, you are afforded 1 ability and 1 maneuver. An ability would be using a mutation, or in your case, an animal point or an animal power, or attacking. A maneuver would be like finding cover, dodging, hiding, running away, screaming like a girl. Any of those things that you can do. So on your turn, you may size up your enemy, and that can still adjust your thing. And you are. It is a tie for first. So who has the higher agility mod between Orwell and Rufus?
I'm a 3.
Rufus?
Which
agility
step?
mod?
5.
5. Okay, so Rufus goes first. So the combat is Rufus. It is Orwell. It is DW. It is Mason. And it is Hambone. Perfect. There you go. Hambone. Cool. So Rufus, you see this thing just erupt out of the ground. It bends its massive, thick, veiny, girthy head towards you. You see this rows and rows of razor-sharp teeth just grinding. You see stone and metal just sort of falling out of this thing, tumbling around in its mouth like a cement mixer. What are you doing?
How big is this? Is this like the size of a school bus? Like,
yes.
What if we run away?
That's an option. You don't see eyes, but you think it knows where you are. It seems to be pointing its, gaping maw in your direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to run around it.
To flank it, or to just run past it.
We'll see which one of those we choose.
Okay, so as an action, you can run around it. So,
yep,
you do so.
My dog, I have Mutant's best friend as a talent. Mm-hmm. Your dog can help you out of trouble. It can help you endure and move. Use sick a dog skill instead of those skills.
Okay.
Respectively, so I might use Mr. Coffee to help me move around.
Okay. So you don't need to roll for this. You are not within you're not. It's. Oh, I'm sorry. What are the ranges? It's not within close range to you, right?
Okay.
So it's a little bit further than short distance. So you can easily skirt around the edge of this thing, and you can continue moving. So you have a maneuver. You have an action and a maneuver or 2 maneuvers. So you can run around this guy and then just keep running and get to some kind of vantage point, or just say "fuck it, I'm out of here" and see what happens. That's entirely up to you.
Yeah. Is there any cliffs or something that I could run on top of or climb, even if it's a tree or a small dumpster building or
There's
something?
That building with the arch on the pole. Just one arch.
Just one arch. Yeah, I'll try to get on top of that.
Okay. So you're trying to climb on top of the building.
Yeah,
so,
me and Mr. Coffee if we can.
So you run around the side of this building. You have far and away enough movement speed to get around there. You move around this building, and you see that there is a very rusted, shitty ladder that appears to have like a strange cage that's like bent around it. It looks like there's a lock on top of it, but like you could probably just crack this with what do you have for weapon? You have brass knuckles, or do you have?
I have a bicycle chain.
Okay, you could probably whip this thing and it would snap it. You could give it a swift kick and it might break the lock, allowing you passage to this if you so choose.
Yeah, I choose.
So you can get to that, and on your next turn, you can use your action to try to break this and climb up on top.
Roger that.
That being said, Mooster Bitters, Orwell, it is your turn. You are staring down a death worm. What do you want to do about it?
I mean, Orwell's got this hammer. Orwell's got these antlers. Yeah. Orwell's got these nuts.
True. All of those are true.
He's gonna like casually approach and survey this giant thing.
Like you just casually walk up to like a bus-sized worm grinding bones, and okay, go ahead.
He's proud of himself, you know. Roll. Be a 4, and a 2, and another. There's some things.
Okay. So what happens with your ability?
With a success, the GM must tell me the enemy's highest attribute and skill scores.
Okay.
And for every extra, I can choose one of the stunts listed under my skill.
So we'll start with the basic information first. Its highest attribute is strength. Its skill score is a 5 in sneak, a 5 in move. These are both applying to underground, and a 3 in fight. And what stunt would you like to use?
I'd like to detect its weaknesses to get a +1 modification to all attacks against the enemy during this fight for each extra success. What do I got? 2 there?
Yeah, so
2 total. So
it's 1. So
one extra.
So not the mouth.
Not the mouth.
That's the weakness.
Right.
Don't go in its mouth. That's what you can figure out. The fact that the mouth is able to grind stone and your body is far less sturdy than stone, you would learn quickly. Don't go in the mouth. So how close did you get to this thing? I'm just curious.
Well, not close enough to engage quite yet.
Okay, so you're still at a long
but
distance.
kind of, if it remains where it is, I'd like to be able to get to it next turn.
Okay, so a short distance. Okay, got it. Cool. It is its turn. You see that this thing, I think you are now the closest to it, I believe.
Probably.
It is going to engage you. You see this thing begin to like push itself further out of the hole. It is now longer than a bus, and you see it arc over, and it seems to be going to swallow you. That's what it looks like. Man, I need you to roll me a move.
A move?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're going to take this on the chin. Are you going to dodge out of the way, or are you going to try to endure through the sharp, pointy teeth?
I think like defending against it is my best bet, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not terribly nimble.
Okay. So you're going to endure then. So roll me an endure, or whatever is the equivalent of endure for you. Defend, endure, something.
I have an endure.
Okay, then endure works. You succeed at the endurance check. This thing sort of it begins to grind down towards you. How do you stop this thing from grinding you into moose dust?
I think he probably like glances off to the side and just grabs a piece of rebar and jams it into its mouth, and he's like, cut both hands.
Nice.
holding it.
I like it. Yeah, so you just see it like sparks are just grinding off this thing. It's like, as it's like, you see that like there's like several rows of teeth back, like 8, 9 deep, as it just goes down the gullet of this thing. And you are in its mouth, and you feel like the heat coming off of it, and you see this mucus dripping down towards you. And that is that. That is its turn. That being said, I believe it is Mazen's turn. Mazen, you see that your friend Orwell is in the maw of madness here. Rufus seemingly has run away with Mr. Coffee. And what would you like to do?
Oh boy. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna really regret this, but I'm gonna try to punch this thing with my brass knuckles.
Okay, cool. So you run in there, and you're gonna punch him.
That's all, Moose.
Roll me a fight. Two. Fantastic. Okay, so not only do you punch this guy, but you get to do some extra shit as well. So you run in there and you sort of punch this guy in its, wormy carapace. You can, let's see, you can inflict 1 extra point of damage. You can subdue it and make it suffer 1 point of fatigue. Or you can increase your initiative score and go faster next round. You can't really knock a weapon out of its mouth, and you can't really knock it to the ground. And if he were grappled, you could help pull the grapple out. So you can inflict more damage or go faster next turn.
Or weaken his strength.
Weaken his make him a sleepy boy. Make him try to pass out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, that's a tough one, but I'm gonna say if he's got a lot of move, he probably has a decent amount of agility. So I'm gonna add to my initiative next time.
Okay, so your initiative is +2 for the next turn, which means you go. You actually go first next round. I think no, you rolled a 4, so you go above the death worm next turn.
Cool.
That being said, Hammurabi, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right, so the moose has got him in a thing. Man, Hammy here is not a.
Ham hands. What's he doing?
Yeah, he's got the shield, and he's just gonna kind of charge at the thing and try to just, I don't know, hit it with the shield. I don't know.
Smash and dash.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't think. I'm guessing that'll be strength fight.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to damage him, or are you trying to knock him back off of Orwell?
Yeah, trying to knock him back off of Orwell.
So let's give me a force.
Okay, force. You want me to do strength?
Yeah, so force is strength.
Yep.
I will let you apply your. I'll give you a +1 for the shield, so you can get a +1 gear bonus for that shield.
Okay, my strength I think is 4. So 4.
Okay, so you charge in there. You take this desk frame and you bash into the other side opposite of Mason where he's punching it, and you hear this and it reels back. The rebar kind of pulls out of Orwell's hands like a ting 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 as it flies away, banging on the concrete. You see this thing just completely recoil back, and you see part of it shrink back down into the ground. It's still out, but it's now roughly the size of a bus again. Still up and running. That being said, top of the order, it is Mazen's turn. Mazen, you are nearby this guy in punching distance.
Wouldn't it not be...
You said top of the order. Wouldn't that be me?
Oh, right. Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You didn't move that far up. Yes, that would be Rufus. I thought he moved to the top of the order. Yep, that would be Rufus. So, Rufus, you can roll me a force to break that.
Okay. I think I'm good at force. I'm not, but I'm sort of. All right. Nope.
You are unable to bash this open. I will say that if you want to attempt to climb over it, you can do that with a move, but you'll need 2 successes to do that.
Okay. Could I use my dog to help me do that move? Use him as a little stance?
Yeah, for sure.
I already have move,
still
though. You know what? I don't think it does anything differently. I already have.
His move is 6. Or his agility is like 6.
Oh, you're right. His agility is 6,
Yeah.
so that's 6 plus 3.
Perfect, and there's 2 successes. So you're able to just grab onto the side of the cage and sort of like the dog gives you a shove. Downside is the dog is still at the bottom of the cage. He doesn't have opposable thumbs. So you are able to climb up. You are now on the roof. However, that takes both of your actions for that turn.
Alrighty.
Orwell, is there a spot you want to get to, Rufus? You can still move around on the roof. Is there anywhere?
I still have more movement left.
What's your advantage?
I would like to get towards the edge that I could see the monster.
Absolutely. Yep. You can easily get over there. Are you kind of ducking down, seeking cover, or are you just sort of standing out there in the open?
Little crouchy walkie.
Crouchy walkie? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Orwell, it is your turn. The rebar has been pulled out of your hand. You are at fisticuff range with this thing. It seems to have receded back into the ground, but your allies have joined the fray. Now, over the top of it, you can see Rufus has mounted whatever that building was, as if poised to attack.
It seems like, we're working as a pretty well-formed unit. I mean, I was able to hold it off. I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
Yeah.
Orwell's just going to charge at it with his sledgehammer.
Okay.
And, not the mouth.
And not the mouth. Yeah, go for it. Okay, so roll me a fight.
I'm going to give you 5 for strength and the 3 for fight, and then I'm just going to add the +1 for my weapon and the +1 for my skill for the gear dice.
Okay. 1 success. How much damage does the sledgehammer do? 2?
3.
Wow. That's a big boy. Okay.
It is.
Cool. Yeah, so you describe me what it looks like as you jam your sledgehammer into this guy.
I want to find out just how pulpy this thing is, so I'm going for not around the mouth, like a full-on body blow. And he just crushes.
Okay.
To find out if it's like fleshy, maybe we'll do some pinching smacks next time.
Yeah, it definitely you strike out, baseball swing right in this thing's where you would assume ribs would be, right? It does squish in there, like you hit somebody in like the gut. It doesn't seem to be like a rigid. It's not like a ribby bone structure. You do hit more of a squish in there, but you do see it like divot in, and you see it like arcs and bends, and it recedes a little bit more. The part where you hit sort of drops down deeper into the ground, as this thing is not enjoying being bludgeoned and punched. It is Mason's turn.
Yeah, so it seems like we have a good roll going. So he's, punches his 2 brass knuckles, like clings them together real quick, and then just kind of goes in and tries to get to almost a similar spot. But I mean, this thing's massive, so he's aiming for kind of the same level of the worm more so than the same exact spot.
Yeah, I got it. I get you. So go ahead and roll me that fight.
1.
So that is a success. So you get in there when you deal 1 more point of damage to that guy.
And is that kind of it for action turn, or like?
So you have 1 maneuver, which is your fight, or it's your skill, right? You can use 1 skill per turn, and then you can move away. So you can move away. You can attempt to seek cover, that kind of thing. That's essentially it.
Yeah, I would back up a bit.
Okay. Perfect. It is this guy's turn. Let me see here. So it is. I think it's still pissed at Orwell here. Orwell, it's coming at you. Let me see here. Let me roll some dice. Let me get some. Oh, that's not the right thing. Let me roll some dice here. It's got a. You guys have done 5 points of damage to it. Boy, oh boy. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here, boys. I have 1 success. Cool. So this is what happens. You get 2 damage, Mr. Bitters, Mr. Orwell. This thing again, it reaches back over and sort of like doubles in size and almost bends completely in half, similar to the arch on the metal pole, and begins to attempt to consume you. It is now attached to you and you can feel it beginning to pull and drag you towards the hole it is coming out of. You take 2 points of strength damage, and that's what's happening for you. You guys can all see it pulling towards the hole.
Does my armor play into that damage?
You can. You have armor, so you may roll a number of d6s equal to your armor. So if you hit the roll button, it's no base, no skill, just gear. And I believe your armor is 6.
It is. I got them hockey pads.
You block all of the damage, but it still has you in its maw, and it is dragging you down.
Fair.
Hambone, you're up, my dude. What do you want to do?
So this thing's, you said it was dragging Orwell down
It is, yeah.
into the pit of despair.
Yep.
Whole Ham is gonna once again rush this thing, and he's gonna pull out the old boom bang.
Okay.
And because this is some dire situations, he's not trying to lose a moose friend. The
That's the only moose friend you have.
Yeah, the only moose friend I have. Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna put the boom bang, like he's gonna reach over Orwell and put the gun in the worm's face and try to pull the trigger.
Okay, go for it.
That's gonna be
a shoot.
Shoot and agility. Okay, okay, that's oof. Okay. 2 and 0.
Nice. Off to a good start.
Yeah.
You can push that roll if you so choose.
Yeah, but with 2 dice, man. And what happens if I fail this? I take the damage, right? If it's 1.
Yes.
Oh
boy, you succeed.
Oh, Dios mío.
You succeed. How much damage does the bang boom do?
Bang boom do. Oh well, that's not the right one. 3 damage.
3 damage. Cool. So you charge up to this thing, pull the bang boom out. It makes the loud noise. Orwell, this is a deafening noise. It is right near your face as the top half, the part consuming you, is exploded off of the ass end of this death worm. This just, viscous blood and gore and just whatever innards splatters over the 3 of you that are on the ground. And you just see the tail end as it recedes into the ground, and you see it hit the surface of the concrete, just begin leaking this smelly green ichor out. As you say this one after another, the teeth begin to die out as if a dying chainsaw, and it just sort of falls down next to you. No longer caught on your hockey pads. This thing has been defeated. What are you guys doing?
I jump immediately as soon as I see it, so I can pretend like I helped.
You jump off the building?
Yeah, onto its squishy corpse, I'm hoping.
I want you to make me a move.
Okay.
You cannot use sick a dog.
No, I don't have the dog with me.
Yeah.
So that's agility. Oh, no. Sorry. Technical. No, I'm typing in my... Sorry, guys.
You'll get there.
Oh, wow.
This guy over here.
Oh, no.
Moves.
You can push it.
Yeah, I will. Okay, it's not meant to be.
So you take 2 agility damage, Mike. As you run, you're like, I helped! You run and you leap off of the roof and you land right next to it. And the force of your jump off this 1-story building brings you to your knees, and you're going to feel that in those ankles and knees for a while. But you are down 2 damage in your agility. Yikes.
So Mason doesn't even see this because he's actually looking for pieces of teeth from this thing that had been blown off. He's got a bit of an idea going with how sharp they were and how durable. So he wants to gather up, 8 to 10 of them if he can.
Sure. I will have you roll me a force, please, to try to rip those teeth out of there.
Okay. All right.
In the meantime, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Can I use my brass knuckles to help?
I will say yes. You can try to punch some teeth out.
Damn.
Nope. Yeah, so you're just kind of punching at, gums, but the teeth seem to be well rooted in there. Perhaps having the right tool might help you with that, but it doesn't seem as though you have the tools on you to do that. What about the rest of you guys?
Remembering why I'm a vegetarian. Probably, yeah, like sloughing off slime and...
Hey, Orwell, that sledgehammer of yours looks pretty handy. Do you think you can give me a hand with some of these?
A hand.
Okay.
Or a hoof.
I mean, it might benefit you too. How does a couple of spikes thrown on the end of that sledgehammer sound, huh? Think of how much more useful that might be. I can make it happen. I just need as many of these teeth as we can get.
Let me see what I can do. The sledgehammer isn't the tool for this job, but Orwell does have a machete.
Okay. Yeah, that's a better tool for the job. I mean, neither of them are the tool for the job, but you can get it done.
I'd like to go to the meat market. See what I can do for him.
Okay. I believe helping is an action. Just a matter of finding out what the hell it does, because no one ever uses that. Let me just double check here. Combat. You guys can help. You can help or hinder a person. This takes place during an action. Nope, we're not using that one. So page 48 for helping. Sorry, guys. Little used rule. Other PCs around you can help. They have to say so up front before you roll the dice. It also makes sense in terms of story. Okay, perfect. So instead of using the help, we're just going to allow Ryan to re-roll. Or if you want to do it yourself, Orwell, you can do the roll. It would be force with the machete as a gear bonus. You guys can decide amongst yourself who is the better option.
Just step back. I got this. This one? This tooth right here?
I mean, that one and the one next to it, and preferably the several ones other too. However many you can get. I don't want to be too picky.
Suddenly I'm a dentist.
I mean, you look still like a moose to me, but if you can smash some out, that'd be great.
You are able to cleanly cut several teeth out of this thing's mouth. I'll tell you what. Roll me 3d4s, please. There you go. You have 5 teeth.
Teeth.
5 teeth.
All yours. You owe me.
Like I said, I can work some magic, put a couple of spikes on there for you. Or, whatever.
We'll talk when we survive.
Hambone, what are you doing? Ham and cheese.
Hot ham sandwich here is gonna you're gonna kind of wipe the goo off of him and toss one of his bullets. Oh, that was gross. Is there any? Can I search the area and how far did it fall all the way back into the hole? Did it fall out of the hole?
Part of the body is sort of flopped out on the side.
Okay.
And the head is obviously a little bit away from it as you severed it.
Okay, I just want to look around the area and see if it pushed up anything neat.
Yeah, roll me. What's your tinker thing? You have Motorhead, right?
Yeah.
Roll me a scout.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you rummage around the tunnel in which it was sort of erupting out of. You don't see anything besides rocks. You find a few pieces of rebar, what looks like it could have been a pipe at some point. But this place looks fairly barren as far as anything super useful. Although you do notice, now that you're kind of looking around, in the distance there are several more of these holes. Like, this was possibly like a eating ground, or hopefully not a breeding ground. But yeah, it definitely is. Definitely, this is. It's been here for a little bit. This one.
This worm itself. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this worm has been here for a while. You're not entirely sure if more of them have been here recently, but at least this one has been here for a while. There's a few other worm holes.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the emergence holes. Are the holes? Is it close enough for me to kind of walk over to another hole and look down into it?
Yep.
Okay, that's also what I want to do. He's going to be kind of just looking through the holes and seeing if he sees anything shiny or round, or shiny and round.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys, you kind of look around through the different holes. You find that there's like broken pipes in the ground. You can collect scrap if you so choose. You know that one of the things the Ark is trying to do is build like a palisade, and they're looking for scrap. I will say if you and possibly even Mason spend a few hours here, you guys can collect each a D6 of scrap, like a D6 resource die of scrap, to hand over to the Ark. Nothing super useful off the bat, but
yeah. But I'm trying to think too. I mean, this is an unsanctioned mission. Like, who are we going to turn this into?
Right.
You know, try to turn it in. They'd be like, "Oh, where did you get this? When did you go out? What did you do?" So, I mean, if it doesn't look like it's going to be anything immediately useful to me myself, then I'm not going to mess with it.
As you four are kind of walking around, Rufus, obviously Mr. Coffee comes back to you, but as you guys are kind of walking around and you know, scraping the goo off of you, dressing your ankle wounds, etc., you happen to spot a small camp. There are, it looks like there was a fireplace here. There are, you know, white embers, but if you put your hand over it, it's still warm, in that this was probably a smoldering blaze overnight. So this has been died out for, you know, hours at this point in time. So somebody was here overnight. Whether it's the same mysterious person that ran away from the building you guys slept in, you're not entirely sure. There is like a tarp here. There's a you know, a plastic cloth, and it looks as though there's like a mat that was slept on. There's no belongings around here, but it shows signs of someone likely to be humanoid slept in this area, despite the threat of Deathworm. Is there anything you guys would like to do, or would you like to move on?
Hey, you boys worried about this?
Kinda. This is clearly a moose camp.
Oh, so now you're worried. You weren't worried when I was talking about a guy running off, but no.
You
now you're
didn't
worried
say
because
he
you
was
think-
a moose. But who else has the cojones to just sleep out with the worms, you know?
Cojones, yeah. Yeah, that's a word.
I'm pretty sure the other three of us aren't Mises.
Yeah, that's why we all slept in the building with me guarding you.
Hey,
None of us were gardening.
And who brought up mice?
Ugh.
it's the plural of moose.
I thought it was Muzai.
Oh, the
It
Ark's
depends
finest.
on the dialect and where you are, but
okay.
Mises is that's what we're going with, okay?
If I didn't need you guys to carry shit back to the Ark, you wouldn't. I'm just saying.
Can you fucking
Let's-
believe this, Moose?
Let's go. Let's find this water. We'll get home.
Yeah, you can only lead a moose to the water, right? You know, as the saying goes.
I hate you people.
Is that a thing?
As you guys begin to leave this sector, you notice that there is a series of these. You saw it at the previous establishment. You saw the large pole with the arch over the top of it. You see that there are other places that have similar demarcations on them. There's like some poles with some big rectangles on them. You see there are ones that like go very high in the sky that are bleached and faded. And as you're kind of walking, you see where the beacon is. As I said, you see this long cylindrical tower in the distance, and you see at the base of this tower, now that you're kind of walking through the ruins, you see that there are large buildings at the base of whatever this tower is. Kind of draws your attention for a second. But I think Mr. Coffee again is close to Rubus's leg, and you hear that like under the breath kind of growl from him, and you notice that he's looking off into the distance, and you see another one of these signs, one of these poles that has a rectangle on the top of it, sort of broken and jagged in places. There's nothing inside the rectangle, similar to those smashed out windows you'd seen before, but it's a good 20 feet off the ground, and from it you see 3 corpses hang by the neck. What do you guys
Do we really see stuff like that? That seems a little odd to me.
Seems like some kind of sign.
If anyone would like to, you may roll a Know the Zone.
I know nature. I don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, this is a little outside your wheelhouse. Okay. Interesting. I have a question for you, Hammurabi. Why do you know that this is something that zone ghouls often do to mark their territory?
Once again, it has to do with being in the Forerunners. Going out as often as we do, as other people do. These warnings or location markers for feasting grounds, we usually know that they're associated with ghouls, but I don't think anybody's really talked about what happens if you get too close to them. Mm-hmm. Rumors say that they're traps, and others just say it's territorial markings. Okay. But the only consensus is that it marks ghouls are around somewhere.
That being said, as the knowledgeable one in this general, sphere of influence, what does Hammurabi think the zone ghouls are? For a frame of reference, they are the boogeyman. So there's a lot of rumors and beliefs of what they could be. So what does Hammurabi think they are?
A half person, half animal, fully mutated, unintelligible being. Like, some people say it looks more like an animal than a human, and some people say it looks more like a human than an animal, but it always has some form of animal feature to it, and it almost has the what is it? It's like it enters the uncanny valley of looking human but not really being human, and it just gives you, just the sight of them can give you the heebies and or the jeebies.
Okay. And no one wants the heebies or the jeebies. Definitely not both of them at the same time. That's terrifying.
Absolutely.
It's awful. Okay.
And the Bee Gees are the worst, though.
That's true. Yeah.
Whoa.
You will not be staying alive.
Wow.
So, do you guys stop to investigate these corpses, or do you just acknowledge them and press on into the next part of the zone?
Do you say anything about them?
Yeah. He'll once they become visible, he's gonna kind of stop. Rufus, see them hanging over there?
Ooh. Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
That's what they was talking about back at the shop. That's the ghoul markers. We probably shouldn't go straight that way. Maybe go around.
Well, okay then. Yeah, my neck's not big enough for that. So, let's go around.
All right. Step 1. Don't get eaten.
What's step one?
1. Don't get eaten by the ghouls.
That is step 1.
The boils or the goyles.
It'd be real bad if, we ignored step 1.
You guys. So, you now know where the beacon is. I assume you're going there next. Is that true? Or you guys gonna go
Yeah,
somewhere else?
man.
Yeah, we kind of need to get there.
That's fair. Cool. So you guys move into that zone. I'm not going to have you roll threat because, god damn it, there's a bunch of them. So, how do you guys want to approach this? You've just seen a zone ghoul marker. At least that's what Hammurabi tells you it is. You see that there's this large smokestack, or this large, tower, leading down to several large buildings beneath this large tower. What do you guys want to do? How do you want to approach?
Stealthily.
Yeah, I don't move so stealthily, but I can try.
Sure. You guys want to scout ahead? You guys want to just slide in there quietly as possible with some sneaks? What's your go-to?
So one of my things as a reptilian mutant is that I can change the color and pattern of my skin like a chameleon.
Okay.
That automatically succeeds sneak rolls.
Okay.
And attacks against me are performed as if it was in total darkness.
Cool.
Yep. So it means I have to spend my mutant point. And I do that. And I have to be mostly naked, so I'm just getting it all the way naked.
Cool. You just sort of stuff your clothes into a backpack and you're just wearing a backpack?
Yep.
Cool.
Fanny pack.
Perfect. Roll me 1d6, please.
So with the mutant points and these animal points and stuff like that, how do you get those back?
Every day you get a new one back. I think it's actually like every session you get a new one back.
I'm not sure. Yeah, every session
Yeah.
for feral points. Also, I get feral points
Equal to the
if I
number of-
push a roll.
Yeah.
Equal to like the number of successes.
Right.
How
That
do
is
you
true.
increase your...
So you have, Rufus, you actually have 3 mutant points. So you just spent 1, so now you have 2 extra ones because you did push a roll and took damage for it.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what I was just going to ask, how you increase your pool.
So every day, every session, you will start with 1. You will start with a number of mutation points equal to the number of mutations you have, right? So if you don't spend your mutation point today and you play in another session, you will have today's and +1 for that other session. So you can bank them that way. Or if you push your roll, you can gain a lot of them, but when you push your roll, you also have a chance to take damage.
Yep.
So
Cool.
Now, does it work the same way with us? If we push a roll, succeed, we get more mutant points?
if you push a roll and succeed, only if you take damage, you get mutant points.
And is this similar to, I think it was City of Mist, where you get so many and then you mutate, or do you mutate in other ways?
No. So that D6 that Mike just rolled, so anytime you spend a mutant point, you roll a number of D6s equal to the number of points you spent. When you do so, if you roll a 1, you have a backfire, and then you roll in the backfire table, and one of the options is you gain a new mutation, and what that does is you actually lose one of your attribute points, and you gain a mutation instead.
Ooh, rough.
Yeah. It's a tough one. Yeah, so if anyone would like to give me a scout check as you approach this place, Mike, I have it here that you are you have an immediate pass on the next stealth check. That's one scout from Mike. You can use coffee to scout as well.
Sure, yeah, I'll use him to scout. That's wits. Oh wait, no, I get to use his agility for scouting, right?
No, it's
Still wits with him.
It's sick a dog and your wits.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nope.
What about Hammurabi and Orwell? You guys scouting ahead, or are you just running?
Yeah, I'll do a little scouting, but I'm no scout. Maybe I am.
You're a little bit of a scout.
Tall, I could see over
The
things.
extra 2 feet of moose just make all the difference.
It does help.
Hammurabi is just gonna crouch and let them go and kind of check it out, because he's not a, he's a big round target. He's not trying to waddle out and
Just going to become a ham.
That's fair. Okay, cool. So, Orwell, tell me, how are you scouting ahead?
He's just carrying himself proudly and having a look around while he approaches the pure something plant.
The pure plant. Yep. Okay, cool. Perfect. You are the first person to notice there's something, the tower in the middle of this thing there's something atop it. Your eyes are drawn to the blinking lights, which are barely visible in the blazing sun. But as you kind of glance up there, making sure this is the right place, this is the place that you saw blinking in the distance, there's a large shadow atop this tower. It appears to move and ruffle. This tower is way up there. This is like a good 100 plus foot tower. And there is something atop it. Possibly looking down, you're not sure what it could be, but you would advise stealth in here. And looking around, you also see a few more places where there is dilapidated and broken fence line, and along the fence line is more hanging corpses, leading you to believe that this place might be another zone marker for the zone ghouls, or perhaps where they've held up.
I would advise stealth in this place. But hear me out, guys. Here's some bad odds. We're here for some water. Good source of water, a clean source of water. This ain't a great place to source of water until we, kill everything in the area, right? This ain't gonna help the Ark until everything's dead. You think we can go in there and make everything dead?
Well, I mean, are we talking 4 or 5 something's dead, or 50 something's dead? Because
well, okay, ghouls again, right? We avoided the ghouls, but we got more ghouls. There's more ghouls. There's no denying there's ghouls. There's people hanging. That's what you said. It was the ghouls.
But I'm going to go back to the thing you said about avoiding them and say that we didn't really avoid them if we're about to walk into them.
Well, and then whatever the fuck that is up there. We came for a beacon, but I'm thinking maybe that's not the beacon we want.
What beacon do we want?
Well, she was half stork, right? Legs, like no tomorrow.
But I thought that only happens at night. Isn't this daytime?
Oh, no, you can get a beacon anytime you got the cash.
Do I get a discount if it's in broad daylight? I'm just saying.
No, go fucking ask. I'm just... I am not a sneaky guy, right?
Wait, is this the place you were talking about earlier then? Is that what's up there?
No. I'm just fucking being an asshole.
I thought you were a moose, not a jackass.
Would one of you two fucking speak up? This I'm tired of talking to this guy.
I don't know anything about beacons, man. I've only been there once.
I've only gotten one beacon.
How everything look all right over there?
No. Fuck no. I ain't a sneaky guy.
Why did I send you guys?
What?
I'm not sneaky.
Okay, anything creepy over there though?
Yes, everything.
Is it safe for me to, come out?
No.
Okay.
So you said you wanted to do this quietly?
Fuck no, not anymore. Jesus. I think, okay, you're a fucking lizard, right? Get in there, go check this shit out, find out if there's water, and then we come back with the cavalry.
That sounds like some real specious stuff going on here. You're sending in the lizard man and a dog. How mature of you.
No, it's just because he's a fucking pussy. Let's go, Mr. Coffee.
Oh, I swear to God.
So, are you heading in alone, Rufus, with Mr. Coffee? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me how Mr. Coffee stealths with you.
He, like the cartoons when the bloodhound is ass up and sniff around. That's basically what he's doing. He thinks that if he lowers his front a little bit, it makes him stealthy.
Yeah.
And
now, for just a frame of reference, how high off the ground? I know he's a mutated corgi.
Yeah.
But how high would you say off the ground he is?
Maybe up to the knees.
Okay. So
he's a big corgi.
So he's like Labradorgi.
Yeah.
Size. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so you slip down into this place. How far do you want to go?
How far do I have to go? Like how big is this area?
This area is big, dude. This is like a compound. You can easily get down to the fence line where the corpses are being hung over the fence line to take a look in deeper. You can actually stealth in deeper if you'd like to, but your friends would be on the other side of the fence line. So
I think I'll start with the fence line.
How daring do you want to be? Okay, cool. So you get all the way down there, and go ahead and roll me a scout. I will give you a +1 dice. So go ahead and make your skill +1.
So, I don't have scout anyway, so that works. 2 successes.
Okay, I was gonna say you could also scout with Sick a Dog, but that works too. Cool. So you are able to look around and you see that there is evidence of people living here. I will say there is upwards of 10 people living here. Now that you're closer to this compound and the tower, you see that there is something atop the tower. What you didn't see before, because Orwell didn't actually point it out, you see that there is a large looming shadow on the top of the tower. It appears to move every once in a while, like it shuffles. But this is a large thing. This is a big tower. Like this is like, it's you couldn't hug the tower with nuclear arms. The 4 of you might be able to join arm to arm around this tower to loop this thing. And even then, it might not even be enough to get your arms all the way around the tower. This is a pretty wide tower, and it goes up pretty high. Now that you're this close to it, it's about 60, 70 feet. If you had a frame of reference there, and there is something large, and like it's hard to see because as you look up at it, it's like blotted out by the sun. But you can see there's a massive shadow there, and there's like stuff sticking off the top. What you thought was just like maybe antenna or metal shards with the blinking lights on it. There seems to be some kind of like it lives here, right? So whether the people that live here are cohabitating with whatever the hell that is, or whether they're one and the same, you're not entirely sure. But this place is lived in. You don't see anyone out, though. And you get to ask me one extra question.
I get to ask you a question, huh? What is the thing on top of the tower?
Okay, I will answer that, and you can tell me why you know this.
Okay.
It is a trash hawk.
I want to say I know what a trash hawk is because I was out on patrol once for the Forerunners, and they killed my first dog.
Oh wow!
Just swooped in and
yeah,
guts and piss and shit are just pouring everywhere while it flies off.
Those are nothing to fuck with, man. It's like a Wu-Tang Clan member.
Yeah.
The trash hawks are they're a bad news. If you'd like, I'll give you a free know the zone to see if you know anything about the trash hawks, other than the fact that they are big enough to eat a dog.
Sure. So you want me to roll that?
Yeah, go ahead. Just a straight up know the zone.
2 successes.
Wow, look at this guy. Cool. So here's basically what you're going to get. You know that trash hawks are large. They have like yellow brown feathers. They kind of blend in with the wasteland. They have long talons that are like long as claw, like long as sharp knives, and just as sharp. They are known to swooping in the same way that you would imagine it would probably just grab your dog and it was gone. That was the end of that. And they have like sharp. You don't want a beacon from this bird. Very sharp beak, almost like teeth-like, that rips flesh and rends like body parts. So your dog was eviscerated quickly. And when I say large, I mean a wingspan of about 25 feet. This is a big boy. It seems to be nesting on top of this. Your best guess with those 2 successes, the people do not cohabitate with it. And that's probably why you don't see them out right now. They must live inside. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, you're muted. Still muted.
Am I?
You're good.
Okay, that was weird. I was hoping that they were. It doesn't matter. It was conjecture. At this point, I'm not there's no point in stealthing in my opinion, as far as by myself.
Right.
So I'm gonna head back to the crew
Sure. Cool.
and tell them what I see.
Yep. So you climb the embankment back up to where they are, little small hill. They I assume they are crouched down in some of the scrubland, some of the denser vegetation, and you are easily able to get back to them. Excuse me. You are easily able to get back to them.
Guys. Hello, guys. Oh, there, yeah. So we might let's just leave. Let's just go. It's not worth it.
Yeah, who's a pussy now?
Like, you could go and fight a fucking trash hawk all you want. Fucking take it on.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, that's all it is. You'll fucking go take care of it. I know you want the challenge. Go for it. It's not even a challenge for you. It's just like fucking breakfast. Go.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you not going and fucking doing it, so shut the fuck up.
You get me a ladder.
How does
Let me see your fucking moves.
Orwell, how does your ability work? The study animals thing work? Do you have to physically study the animal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure it wasn't like a knowledge-based situation.
No,
Okay.
it's a measuring of an enemy.
I got it. Cool. Okay. So that's the information you have before you. There's a trash hawk there.
Trash hawk and no people around. So if they're here, probably inside, but they're not out and about. This is not their trash hawk.
Well, this is not the trash hawk we're looking for.
You still sound like a big pussy. Guys, what if we get the people inside to come outside and then the hawk fights them too?
That might involve us going in first and having them chase us out, maybe.
Or we push them out, we throw them out windows.
I mean, we could do that. I don't know how that helps us get rid of, what'd you call that thing?
Trash hawk.
Yeah, I don't know how that helps us get rid of that.
I will point out.
Eating them and we hop on it and we fly it around.
I will point out that also doesn't help you retrieve the water. If there's a giant hungry trash hawk outside.
We feed the trash hawk with the people and we use that to take a big bucket of water back to the ark.
Just one bucket.
One big bucket.
Okay.
What if we got lots of shit out here? Like if we got 2 gearheads, we get something working. We get something that makes noise, that draws attention. It draws them out. There's a mess. We clean up the remains.
That's basically the same thing I said.
You guys are smart. We don't got to go in there. We get them out.
Okay.
So we just make a bunch of noise.
Yeah. Look at all this crap around us. Like, there's got to be something.
It doesn't take a gearhead to realize you can just shout really loud.
We don't want the attention on us. Then the trash hawk is coming to us. You see where I'm going.
Is there anything around that looks like it could be chimey or?
I will tell you this. At the cost of 1 bullet, I don't care who pays the cost. At the cost of 1 bullet, the 2 of you can roll and potentially build a one-shot scrap cannon.
I already used a bullet. I only have 4 left. I don't know how many you got. If you're willing to drop one for something like that.
No, I only have 4 left.
Basically, you can use the bang boom to make a cannon and fire scrap out of it. But it's going to cost you the bullet, and it's going to cost you some... You're going to have to jerry-rig together to make this happen.
All right.
I like the idea. I just, like I said, I don't have a lot of bullets.
No, I'll do that. That's fine.
I got no bullets.
Okay. So Ryan is going to... So Mason is going to spend one of his 10 bullets. It's like a Richie Rich over here. He's going to...
What are you talking about? I only have two bullets left.
He's going to spend one of his bullets, and I'll take the 2 of you. So here's what's going to happen. You can decide whoever has the highest jury rig. One of you can help the other, and that will give the other person an extra +1 to their jury rig.
I mean, Jerry Riggin wits.
Yeah,
I got
Jerry Riggin wits.
an 8 overall.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so I don't care who it is. Someone roll, and you have a +1 to your skill. So as if you had a Jerry Rig of 4.
Go for it.
I was gonna say you got the boomstick. You do it.
There you go.
Okay.
You've
Fair
already
enough.
used that thing. You seem to know what you're doing with that.
All right. So where's the roll button? Here it is. So 4 to skill,
Yep.
and then
No gear.
no gear. Okay.
Cool. 1 success. So you are able to pull together enough scrap based on the things you have on you and the know-how between the two of you, and you essentially have made the dog cone for the shotgun and filled it with scrap pellets. And you're going to expel a shot of your bullet, and it's going to explode like confetti out of this thing. That will make a lot of noise and rain down shrapnel, thus making a lot more noise. But you have to get closer to do it. It is, after all, a shotgun.
You guys got this figured out.
Yeah, all figured out. Now we just need a performer.
Why
What are we
doesn't
doing?
Moose Knuckle do it?
What are we doing? Like a one-man show? We a little improv, or
I mean, a one-man show of sorts. One might actually call it a one-moose show.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. Yep.
what are you saying?
I'm saying we, and Mason just kind of points to Hammurabi and himself. We took your suggestion into consideration, and we may or may not have tinkered something together for you to go use and make a distraction.
All right.
But it might involve you getting a little closer first.
Well, fine. Don't we all have to get close? Isn't this a thing? We got to get in there anyway, right?
Well, I mean, we don't want to draw attention to ourselves and everything, right? So it's best if only one of
you
us
want
go and do
me
it.
to draw attention to myself. I got it.
Oh, I mean, to be fair,
no.
if
Give me
it
the
works
thing.
the way that it's supposed to, you'll only have mildly drawn attention your direction.
Give me the thing. I'll do the thing. I'll clean up this mess.
Perfect. Hammurabi, you had the moose. Hand it over.
Here you go. He's gonna step out of the way. Hey.
And you see the most piecemeal, what they called a cannon. It is literally a shotgun wrapped around, a cone wrapped around a shotgun, stuffed to the brim, full of small bits and bobs of metal, screws, scraps, cans, that kind of thing. And you are to fire this and rain shrapnel down from the sky.
This isn't going to blow my head off, right?
Most likely not.
I fucking hate you guys.
I give you a high probability that it could possibly work for you in your favor.
Might want to cover your ears though.
Yeah, that would have been a good warning earlier. I'm pretty well half deaf already.
Do you stealth down, or do you just moose rush your way down?
I mean, I'm gonna try to stealth down,
Go
but
for it.
that's not my
Give me some stealth.
forte.
Give me some stealth, my dude. You are able to quietly get down there despite the shaking and jingling of the scrap cannon. You were able to position yourself down by the fence, or as close to the fence as you would like to get. And are you going to fire this? And if so, at what?
I think if there's a relatively open area, between the buildings and tower and whatnot, I'd like to kind of figure, okay, if there's this much trajectory, it's going to land around that area.
Okay.
I want the area that's being called attention to have as little cover as possible.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you are able to do that. It's really easy to point and shoot. You point and shoot, and it's loud. You've heard it before because you're well half deaf. It just blasted off in your face a little while ago, just a mere 6 hours ago. So it echoes like thunder through the still landscape as it echoes, and you just see glittering. And the rest of you guys from the hill, you can see this glittering metal glinting in the sun. It looks like rain as it just sort of sprays forward, and you hear this.
Mason just kind of chuckles and elbows Hammurabi. It actually worked.
I don't know how he's supposed to hold his ears when he has to use it with two hands. As just twinkling starlight of metal scrap rains down, followed by that ting 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 as like dozens upon dozens of small pieces of scrap hit the ground, and then you hear this just screech pierce the air, louder than the shot of the cannon, and you all see wings just sort of alight from the top of this thing, and you just hear this as it begins to lift off, and you see this thing rise, and it like almost blots out the sun. You, Orwell, down there, you can hear a lot of voices screaming, or not screaming, but shouting inside, and you see 4 people rush outside to see what the commotion is. They are humanoid figures, but they are head to toe in like black cloaks, like wound up black like cloth. Everything about them is covered in black. And some of them have like face masks on, some of them have like hockey masks, some of them have like, or not hockey masks, but like masks. Some of them just have like cloth over their face, but they're head to toe covered in black. And you know, based on reports from previous stalkers and those that have made it out alive, these are zone ghouls. And 4 of them burst forth, yelling and screaming in like it doesn't sound like normal words. It seems like they're like barking commands back and forth to each other, and like they'll say like strange like clips and like weird dialects, and the other ones seem to know what's happening as if they have established their own shorthand. And you see them begin to scramble and like begin to secure different places, and you see the scrap hawk just down there and grabs one of them in its talons, and you see in a swift motion this thing swoops down, grabs it, and on the climb back up it throws it in the air and grabs it in its beak, and you see it, half of it goes and just blood rains down as that other half falls, and you see as it scoops the other half back into its mouth and swallows its torso whole as it climbs back into the air, and you see it circle and it's looking for more. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Let them fight.
Hiding as best as I can.
Fight in the shade.
Getting a good view of it all. I at this point, I pop my goggles on.
Yeah, so you're all, the 3 of you are watching down there, and you can see Orwell is just a 6-foot change moose at a fence line, while 3 guys now run around securing doors and closing things. But Orwell, if he runs from there, he's exposed where he is, but if he runs, he's equally as exposed. Do you guys rush to his aid? You would also be exposed as you run down the hill, but how do you guys plan to get into this place? Your plan seems to work. You have attracted the trash hawk, and it is eating your enemies. But it's a matter of getting inside. Or do you say fuck it and return back to the Ark empty-handed?
No, we're not doing that last thing.
No, definitely not the last thing. So right now we're all hidden and he's fine for the moment, right?
I mean, he's against the fence line, so like no one spotted him. The trash hawk seems to be more occupied with the 3 left that are down there.
Fine is a relative term. He's down there like rubbing his ears.
Yeah. As he's trying to keep an eye on the shadow of death floating above him.
And we're still not certain that every ghoul came out.
No. In fact, Rufus is fairly certain that not every ghoul came out, from what you can see. You're muted.
Less than half came out.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Suggestions, guys?
Storm the castle, guys.
Yeah, might as well just storm it. Fuck it.
All right.
Don't listen to me.
Hammurabi puts his shield over his head. Let's go around.
Mike, you want to spend another one of those mutation points in stealth?
Kind of.
You can. There's no limit on how many you can spend an episode.
Only all of them.
Well,
That's
only
your
until you run out. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's the limit. Until you have none left.
Yeah, I'll spend one.
All right. So it automatically stealths you, and roll me a d6, and hope it's not a 1. Ooh, boy. That was close.
Nah.
That was close. Okay, you are camouflaged in the same way as you were before, and your dog, ass up, nose down, begins to slowly paw after you. You guys see a shimmer of active camouflage as Rufus gets low to the ground and sort of, I assume you walk the same way as your dog, ass up,
Yeah.
nose down.
Yep.
You see him shimmer, and you see Mr. Coffee disappear into the shrub brush. Mason and Hammurabi, what are you doing? How are you stealthing? Or are you just saying fuck it and you're going in fists ablazing?
Yeah, it's not really specified that I can use this way, but I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I have extreme reflexes as my mutation.
Okay.
Would I be able to use that to my advantage to not stealth, but move quickly?
I believe you can. Let me double check here. Mutation, you have extreme reflexes, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Extreme reflexes. You can dodge when someone shoots at you. You can move extra. You can... Yeah, I will let you do that. It costs you 1 mutation point, I'll say. And you can move extra fast for a short burst of speed.
So first I will roll mine. Where is it? Okay, so no new.
So what I will let you do is you will spend for every... So how many... You only have 1 mutation point, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
only one.
So we'll add this on there as a little bonus. For every mutation point you spend, you move that much faster. So I will give you a +1 to a move roll. So you make a move roll with your agility and add an additional point of move to that roll.
All right, let's see if this works for me.
Okay.
Oh, God, no.
So you are quick. You get down there. But you, Rufus, you see... Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Orwell, you see... as you're kind of like... As you're trying to look around, you see one of the ghouls look back. And you think he's looking at you for a second, but he's looking past you. And then he makes eye contact with you, seeing that there's a giant fucking moose there. He has noticed your friends moving behind you, and you can kind of and follow the gaze, and you see very quick Mason is running towards you very fast. Hammurabi, you're alone in a field on a hill. What are you doing?
Like I said, he's got his shield over his head and his back, and he's just gonna try to like if I can't see them, they can't see me. I'm just a walking shield. Don't mind me.
I'm just the door. It's fine. Roll me a stealth.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Let's see what happens here. Boy. Nope. No go. So you have it there. You have it's well shaded, man. I'm just at a minimum. You're blocking the sun out, so it's totally, it's a comfortable stroll. But you notice like these shouts get louder. Oh, you pushed it? Oh, that wasn't you. No, you can push it though if you'd like. I will.
I think I'm gonna try to
Push it. Push it real good. You succeed. Oh, grand. Cool. So you have the door up there, and you hear shouting from inside, and you can see that one of them turns back and points in your direction, but you quickly drop the door down, and you're just a door in the field. That's a normal thing that no one's ever been curious about before. And you hear the shouting continue, and you just pick up the door, and you begin to walk, or pick up the desk, and begin to walk in further. You're pretty sure they spotted Mason. But definitely not you. Definitely not the most inconspicuous desk in the world.
Yeah, man. I'm just an apocalypse desk. Don't.
It's like when Solid Snake just is in a box for no reason, in the middle of a snowy field, and no one's like, "Oh, it's just a box. Weird." Same principle. You guys all get down to the fence line in varying levels of stealth. Rufus, where are you and Mr. Coffee? Where do you go? You are still stealthed. You can stealth to Orwell, or you can stealth away from Orwell and find a way inside.
Orwell's not in danger, is he?
Orwell's just out in the open, and he's just by the fence line. You know that as you're walking down there, because you're quick and quiet, you know that someone shouted and like pointed in his direction. But you also see this flash blur of Mason running, just full-on Terminator run down the hill towards where Orwell is. And you see a very inconspicuous desk.
Where is the desk between Orwell and the building that these guys are in?
No, the conspicuous desk is Hammurabi, and is behind him.
I understand.
It's Hammurabi on a desk, or it's an inconspicuous desk. It's very fast Terminator Mason, Orwell, the compound.
Okay. If possible, I want to get between the compound and Orwell, and if there's like brush or anything I could ambush out of, I would like to do that. I would like to get behind that rock, bush, sign, whatever it is.
Do you want to get on the same side of the fence as Orwell is? He's basically where you were. Or do you want to get inside the fence line and ambush them as they charge out? Do you
Basically
want to...
that. Okay. Basically, as they try to leave the fence line, I want to slap them around.
Cool. So you have found a break in the fence line that is your best ingress and their best egress. So someone's going to have to come by you if they come out of this place.
Cool.
I will give you this bonus. If they come out and draw attention to where Orwell is, chances are it will draw the attention of the bird.
Okay.
So you might want to get him before he gets to Orwell. Or stop him as best you possibly can. And that happens. So you guys have this screeching trash hawk swooping around, blood raining from the sky as it chews on its victims. 3 guys are yelling. One of them points over in the direction, and you see him like bark again. This weird dialect of what they're saying. You hear them like bark out these commands. And the other two run off in the opposite direction, and you see them quickly like fastening something on like doors. And you see the door that they came out of burst open. Orwell and Mason, you see this first. The doors burst open, and 2 more of them run out and meet up with the one that's pointing at you, and 3 of them are coming towards you, Rufus, to come out of that cage or out of that fence line to jump Orwell and Mason that seem to be out in the open. Inconspicuous desk, you see this also. So if you guys would like to, Mike, you will get a round before combat to jump their bones, but if everyone could please roll me initiative. Good thing you had that surprise round.
And initiative is always a 1d6.
It's
There's like no
1d6. There are ways you can spend a mutation point to make your thing better. Like you can spend a mutation point to give yourself a +2 to that. Cool. What's your agility, Hammurabi, and Rufus?
Mine's 2.
My agility is 5.
Okay, so we have Orwell. I need to roll you some d6s. This is the d6 for the Trash Hawk. Yikes. This is the d6 for the Yikes. Okay, so
It's okay. We're not fucked.
T-Hawk goes first, Zone Ghouls go next, and then it's Orwell, and then it is Mason, and then it is Rufus, and then it is Hambone. Okay, so Rufus, you see these 3 guys are coming out of this gate. One of them is in the lead, 2 follow behind. At what point do you want to jump out and grab one of these guys? How do you want to do that?
I want it to be the last one.
Okay.
The last thing I want to do is get surrounded by 3 dudes. I'm not Orwell. I can't take 3 at once.
Okay. You can fight.
Take that how you will.
Well, that's true. You can fight with Mr. Coffee.
I know.
Okay. So you want to wait till the last one goes through, and how are you attacking this guy? You just jumping
So
up.
my weapon is a bicycle chain.
Yep.
So I'd like to use it to like, it's not immediate range. It actually has near range, so it's a little bit of range to it. I basically want to like trip him with it, or catch him on the neck and like pull him back with it.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, I would use the dog to sick him and tackle him.
Okay. So to do that, you would need 2 successes. You can hit him, and then the second success will be used to trip.
Okay.
So you may roll me a fight. If you're using Sick a Dog to do that, that's up to you. Sick a Dog, I think, would just be you sending Mr. Coffee out to get him.
I will try my way first.
Okay. 1 success. Okay, you can push it.
Yeah, might as well. 2 successes.
But you take 1 strength damage.
1 strength damage. Fuck. Okay.
You do gain 1 more mutation point, though. So you describe to me how you step out of the shadows, active camouflage fades, and you...
Yeah, it's basically, I look like another bush. That's basically it. I just am right in the way, and people are just running right by me, and then I come out. I'm a lizard man, and I just swat him with my bicycle chain.
I like
and
it.
like clothesline him.
Yeah. And so you have Mr. Coffee's down low, he's staying quiet, and you just walk around the neck, and you just drag him to the ground. So you deal, what's the damage on that? 1 damage? Perfect. So you deal 1 damage on that, but you have knocked him prone to the ground. The other 2 don't even notice because you're so quiet about this thing. 2 more are running out of the gate towards Orwell. They haven't. You can see them coming at you. They haven't gained the vision of the trash hawk yet. The trash hawk begins to swoop around, and you see it dive back down towards one of the other 2 that are like closing doors and latching things up. And you see it scoop one of those up, and again you see it like toss one of its like talon claws up into the air, and it snaps this thing and just eats it whole, like a dragon. The zone ghouls, the 2 of them run out towards you. They are there. They see you and Mason, and a very inconspicuous desk making its way down, and they are going to attack at Mason and at Orwell. 1 for each of you. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Go ahead.
Now, can I use the defense action?
Is defense an action? So defense is a free action for you. So when you're attacked, you defend automatically. You just roll you roll your armor.
1 a turn. Where was I reading? Close combat. When someone fights you, you can try to defend yourself. When you defend, you also roll for fight. Roll your dice at the same time as the attacker. For each success, you choose 1 stunt.
Okay.
It takes your action from your like next turn.
Yep.
But you can only do 1 per turn, one defense. I took the Stonewall talent that lets me defend against any number of attacks per turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So then in that case, that's totally an acceptable thing to happen. They're going to make an attack against you. As soon as I find where the fuck the zone goes on this book, because they're not just listed out. Because why would they be? Cool, good stuff. So they're gonna make an attack. I'm gonna call it a number here until I find it. So they're gonna make an attack against you. We're gonna call this this. We're gonna call this this. No gear dice. Boom. 0 successes. So no need to defend yourself unless you want to. I think you can still like knock them down and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you
I can inflict weapon damage.
Okay.
With successes if I get them. Sledgehammer, so 1.
Okay, so you can deal 1. You deal your damage normally. You can deal an extra damage. You can knock him prone. How would you like to do that?
I'd like to deal my damage.
Okay.
I think as this guy like comes charging through the fence, I was hiding behind.
Yeah.
Orwell was just baseball swings him.
Okay. What's the damage on the sledge?
3.
And you can deal +1 damage to him?
Oh yeah, extra success.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool. Describe to me how you kill this zone ghoul.
I think I cave in his chest.
Okay. Yeah. So choke up on the bat and just sort of hit him with the sledge head.
Yeah.
And just you hear this like this crack and crunch, and you hear the and then it crumples to the ground. Mason, you see this? It's fairly impressive. The full power of the moose coming down on the man. That being said, the other one attacks you. So let's go ahead and see what that does. Let's get a roll here. They have this number plus
that
this number.
defend thing, is that just strictly, is that an everybody thing, or is that just because you're a moose? How does that work?
That comes out of the Gen Lab Alpha book. I'm not sure what is in the.
I don't think
proper
that is a thing for regular mutants. I think it's like an animal instinct thing. And what it does is you defend instead of taking an action on your turn. So
Yeah.
had he been unable to defend, that's his whole turn. He's done.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
You are getting attacked. You see this guy run towards you. You see the chest cave in, and then he whips a bicycle chain similar to what Rufus has, and he whips it out towards you, and he's going to deal 1 point of strength damage to you as he hits you with this bicycle chain.
Okay.
You have armor, so roll me your armor. So a number of d6 equal to your armor.
And then that's my only real option in the end, is just to do basically defend with my armor.
Yeah, and defend is a free action. It happens on their turn. So if you roll 1-6, you have blocked all of his damage. So no, you did not roll any 6s. So yeah, you get hit with 1 damage. And the bike chain just rakes across your arm and chest, and you can feel that bludgeoning sense hit you. That being said, it is Orwell's turn. Orwell, your Warhammer wants blood.
I can only maneuver because I used my attack, but I'd like to maneuver to get all up in the business of the one who is attacking.
Okay, so you want to get real close to him.
Yeah, kind of, and a big old moosey snort right in his ear.
I like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Mason, it is your turn. You are at short range with this guy, so if you want to punch him, you got to get in up close and personal, just like Orwell is.
Yeah, sure. Might as well do that and try to punch him.
Okay, go for it. Roll me a fight.
And so because I took damage, my strength is down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, your strength should be whatever it is, 3 out of 4 or whatever.
Yep. Fucking shit.
You can push it if you'd like. However, I will say, it was asked earlier in chat, if you push a roll and you rolled a 1 on gear, your gear can break. It can be repaired by a geared head, but it would put you out of... your brass knuckles would be unusable.
Yeah, it's okay.
Alrighty. So you kind of swing in, and despite the moose, maybe because of the moose, this thing leans to the side, and you punch and miss this guy. It is Rufus's turn. Rufus, sick 'em, boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine how do you do the damage for sick a dog.
Sick a dog. Let's find out here. Let's give you a little look-see.
Fighting, your dog can fight for you. Use your skill, sick a dog plus strength. Doesn't say anything about damage.
Sick a dog counts as an action, meaning you cannot perform any other action in your turn. You can't maneuver a maneuver in the same turn. Damage. An enemy can choose whether they attack you. Nope, that's not a good one.
Yeah, that's them taking damage.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. So without knowing that, then I'm just gonna go ahead and keep using my chain. So he's on the ground, right?
Yep, and you dealt 1 damage to him.
Yeah, and I'm fucking whipping him right in the face.
Okay.
Right in the head.
I will give you +1 skill die because
okay.
he is prone.
So it gives me an extra. Okay. 1 success, 1 biohazard.
Yep, so 1 success it is. You can push it for more successes if you'd like. You deal 1 damage to him currently.
I gotta be careful with pushing it, so I'm gonna stick where I'm at right now.
Okay, so you wham down with that bike chain as it's like, don't stop.
Don't stop. Okay, well.
Ham, inconspicuous desk. It is your turn.
How inconspicuous am I? Are they just like all fighting off in the distance? And I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
Yes, currently.
Okay. How close am I to the door?
To the defense line where Rufus is?
Yeah, well, we're trying to make our way inside this.
So it would take you. You could do it. It would take you your entire turn to get there. It would take you essentially 2 maneuvers to get over there.
Would this put me behind them as well?
So Orwell and Mason are fighting a zone ghoul here. The fence line's over here. That's where Rufus and Mr. Coffee are. So you would get past those guys and to Rufus and Mr. Coffee. So technically, it would put you behind the one that Orwell is fighting.
Okay.
Where
the one got picked up by the trash hawk.
There was 2 more inside. One of those 2 got picked up by the trash hawk.
Okay. And where's the other one?
He was closing something. He was doing something at the buildings. You assume closing doors, maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to make my way to Rufus.
Okay. So that takes 2 of your maneuvers to get over there, and that is your turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Trash Hawk repeats the process, scoops down. The last of the zone ghouls in the courtyard is chomped upon. The zone ghoul that is fighting Mason is going to attempt to do that again. He's going to fight Mason one more time.
Okay. So and we did see that there is a defense thing.
Oh, for mutants as well?
Yeah.
Would you like to defend?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would like to defend. So then I would do my fight against his fight, I guess.
Yep.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
So one success. So you hit him back. So you are able to do 1 more point of damage to him, which I believe is the first point of damage he's taken.
Perfect. So it gives me several options, one of which being I can remove a damage dice. But I get an option to knock or pull a weapon or other object from my opponent.
That's for every additional success. So what page is this on? This
defense? Sorry. Yep.
84.
That is... you defend, or you roll a dice.
So when someone fights you, you defend, you roll fight, roll your dice at the same time as the attacker. For each one, you choose 1 stunt. Okay, so you choose 1 stunt.
So if I take his weapon, does he still do damage?
Yes.
Okay.
So you essentially, you can catch his bike chain on your arm and yank it out of his hand. You still take that damage, because it does hit you. And then he's going to do something else. Because he rolled 2 successes to your 1 success. So he is going to...
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He is going to... Or you can counterattack and just punch him in the face. It's up to you. So you are going to get hit in the face with that thing. And he is going to... let's see here. He is going to... he's going to subdue you. That's what it's going to do. So you're going to take 1 fatigue damage. So he whips you. You kind of grab it around the arm, all badass style, and there's this weird tug of war that's kind of sapping your strength. So you're going to take 1 point of fatigue damage, which I believe is a 1 point of. So you're going to take 1 strength damage and 1, I believe, agility damage.
Unless but does my armor still factor in? How does this all end up working?
Your armor could factor in. Yep. So go ahead and roll your.
I still roll that out.
Yep. No successes, so you take that 1 strength and that 1 agility. That being said, it is Orwell's turn. Orwell, what are you doing?
Protecting the little guy. That's why they keep me around. I'm just going to overhead swing my hammer.
Okay. Let's have that.
That's some successes.
How do you kill him?
Well, I put his head into his pelvis.
Mm-hmm.
Just top down. And then unwrap the bike chain from Mason's arm and cast it away. Everyone inside now.
Do you want to keep that bike chain?
I mean, I stole that thing fair and square, man.
That's fair. You'll have to pick it up on the way. I didn't want it.
So he takes it off.
First off, there was absolutely no reason to just unwrap that from my arm. I stole it from the guy.
This is fair.
No, I don't allow it. I don't allow it.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna pull my arm away from you.
Fine, I go to like throw it. Fine. Get inside.
My back chain.
Mike, what level is your sick dog?
What level?
Yeah, how many skill points do you have the sick dog?
3.
3? We'll say it does 3 damage.
Okay.
Cool.
Good to know. Definitely start using that way more often then.
Yeah. It just puts your dog in danger over you. So
I could always get a new dog. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So you guys make your way inside. I think collectively, the 3 of you running around the corner to see Rufus and Mr. Coffee, you subdue the 3rd one. I'm not going to have you all roll to take out the last 2 hit points of this guy who was on the ground. How do you guys stomp out the life of this last zone ghoul?
American X style. American History X.
Wow. Okay. Enough said. That happens. You got him. You got him. Yuck. Perfect. So you guys run in. Are you now running into the buildings? Are you trying to get into one of the the building they all rushed out of? Is that what your goal is?
That's where Orwell would be trying to point.
Okay.
Point them.
So you see him moose charging in that direction. Do you all follow, I assume?
Yeah, I don't think we have time to really argue about it.
Yeah, there is a giant trash truck outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So yeah, so you guys are able to run inside of this area. Excuse me. That was a weird hiccup, cough, burp. Yeah, so you guys are able to get inside. This is a low set of buildings, like rusty corrugated steel. Inside of this room, there is a... inside this building, you see a room, much like the building you slept overnight in. There's a large window spread across this place. And you see there's a door that enters in. This time there's actual glass, which is rare. You guys don't see glass very often. And inside this room, there is these metal tables that all have these glass squares on them, and there's blinking lights everywhere. There seem to be toggles and switches and levers, and it seems to be overlooking another glass window that looks deeper into whatever the hell this place is. There's no one inside this room. You might assume that some of the people that ran out were in this room. You get a sense, especially Hammurabi and Mason, this room's very important. You're not sure why, but if you'd like to stop and take a look, you may roll me a comprehend, each of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally going to try to comprehend this. We're inside, right?
You are inside. You are all inside.
Okay. 2.
2, and from Hammurabi? I should just have you guys help in the future. Cool. So you'll get to ask me one extra question. Oh, no, sorry. You get to, for know the zone, or for comprehend is what it's supposed to be, sorry. You can teach someone else how to use this. So you both know this is some kind of a control room. You guys can get inside this room. It's relatively safe. There's no one inside of here. Looking through this room, there's a large glass. Once you walk in, there's a large glass window that looks down into some kind of a facility. Perhaps whatever the pure plant is. But you see that there's this massive long room that seems to have sunken underground. And there are these huge basins of what you would assume to be water. And there's this thing, this is some kind of metal monstrous contraption that's spinning the water around. And you see it misting water, and the water bubbles up and geysers out. And you see these weird contraptions that are doing all kinds of things. The room you're in, however, has all these blinking lights, blinking panels. Sometimes the screens are just brrr, brrr, and words will run across them. What you get out of this is some kind of control room. What you get out of this, Mason, is that this is whatever the pure plant is. This is controlling the fact that it's making the water drinkable. It's cleaning the rot water and making it drinkable. So you can assume all of the water in that room that you're seeing, which is hundreds of gallons, this is thousands of gallons, these are massive tanks of water, is all drinkable. There's way more than any, if everyone from the Ark came here with a bucket, there's way more than any of you could carry.
It's a long way for anyone to want to go with a bucket of water.
With just a bucket of water, yeah. Yeah. So you see there's a huge series of connected underground halls, like that's what you're looking at, these massive tanks of water. You see that this room looks like it was lived in, and you can see on one of these panels, Mason, you notice it first, there looks to be a facilities map of what's going, like what each place is for, and it like has the name of the facilities map. You can make out a little bit of what the language is, but you can see that the people who are running this place are not that intelligent, and there's markings on the screen, like carved in markings on the screen, denotating that there's things in certain places. You can see the facilities map. You can see a big X crossing out the smokestack, which is where the trash hawk lives. And you can see another one of the buildings has a circle carved on the glass screen. You're not sure what that is, but there's something there. If you can assume that X means no and circle means yes. But technically you have achieved the mission and have found the water. You could retreat with this information. Or you could risk the biscuit to keep going.
How many hours since we've rested?
It's been 10 hours since you've rested.
Okay.
This is
Sorry, that first day went by way quicker.
This is one of those things like the Brotherhood's talking about all the time, right?
Don't strain your moose brain too much here. Let me show you a few things here. And I just kind of explained what I was understanding of all of this. You see this big panel here and these little knobs and buttons and blinky lights? I know how much you like the blinky lights, but don't touch them right now. I think it does something with all this stuff down there with the water. Also, this is like a makeshift map. I'm assuming X means bad because given its positioning and where we are, I think it's the Hawk's Nest.
Okay, so how do we get a straw big enough?
I forgot that was your plan.
Guys, what if we just take a bottle showing how pristine this water is, and I forget my accent, and we fucking get them a bottle of water so they know how good it is, and then they bring people back and we figure something else out with the rest of them. I mean, not that, we were here or anything, but you get what I'm saying.
So you guys want to just call it quits at this point and say, hey, we did it?
I mean, let's look at what, Armpits had to say. I mean, he just said to go, find some water.
Yeah, but wasn't it Orwell here that said we had to make sure this place was cleared out?
I mean, isn't it? I thought we killed everybody. Oh,
well, okay. Let me point you to part B of our map. A big circle. So if X means no, what do you think this circle means?
Double no.
Oh,
Well,
no.
you weren't a fan of children's games growing up, were you?
I wasn't a child ever.
Let's just put it this way. O's are usually the opposite of an X.
I feel like that's racist.
Moosist.
I mean, we're talking shapes here. I mean, with the symmetry of your head, I can understand if geography... what? Never mind.
Geometry. You're welcome. Yeah. So what do? We go find
We're
out.
so thinking, like, would they know terms like that at this point?
You might not know the context. You might know the words, but not what the hell they mean. So you're just repeating things you've heard other people say. You had an elder back in the day who taught you some things, but like, he's dead now. So
What did he really know?
yeah.
Okay. First, we need to make sure that this building is clear enough, and then we take whatever we feasibly can, find anything that can hold water, and it has a secure lid so it won't spill, and we take back as much as feasibly possible, and then we report on the location, and that way we can I don't know, come back and maybe try to start forming some kind of system of transport. Like I like the straw idea, but we need really big straws that go all the way from here back to the Ark.
You mean a system of tubes?
Yeah, like something like tubes. Like the straws, like he said, they sucks, but they're bigger. Carry more water.
So like a pipe.
You guys got like one of them lung mutants back at the Ark, or like it's gonna take a lot of sucking.
No. We rig up a push and sucky system. It's all automated. You do it, and it pushes the water. Or if we put it back at the home base, we can suck the water just mechanically, and we don't have to do it with our own mouths.
Oh,
listen, we get some of my brothers down here from the signal, all right, and they'll just study this because what you just described, Hammurabi, it's already happening. It's happening right here. They're already sucking up route water. They're doing something over here, and all I know is we go from route water to not route water. Okay, and we haven't even tested that out. I mean, we should really test this water before we go back and we report on it. But that's point B. We'll get to point B once we get to point B. We got to finish point A before we get to B. Point A. The technology's here. You got to just learn what it does and what it is to get it. Same process, but longer distance back to the Ark.
Yeah, we just need to mark the location and make sure we get some gear turners back out here. They can get the process started. But for now, he's going to take his shield. Let's secure the area. Moose.
Roll me a scout. Anyone who is scouting.
Sure.
Okay. And last one from Orwell.
Fine.
You don't have to scout if you don't want to. I'm just curious to see if anyone...
I'm doing it, Peter.
All right.
No.
Okay, so, Mason, you say... Hammurabi, you say, let's do this. Mason, you start to get ready, and you look out again out of this glass window to see where these water turners are, and you take a closer look, excited that there was water turners and all kinds of technology out here, and you see that there's more than just the water turners out here. And you confirm that Rufus was correct. There were at least 10 zone ghouls here. At least. But judging by the number of bunks and little nests, there's far more than 10 here. What you saw might have been the advanced group that went out to go secure something, possibly whatever was in that circle. But there's definitely more than 10, and you guys have only cleared out 7. So, how do you guys want to proceed?
You remember how I said that there was a point B that followed up from point A?
Oh, also there's a trash hawk still.
So, turns out the point B portion's a little bit more complicated than what I had originally anticipated here. And by me, I mean by what Rufus had anticipated earlier. You guys look down there. There's a lot of little bunkers and nooks and places for these ghouls to hide. And Rufus, how many did you say you thought there may have been?
I was thinking 10 before.
I think we only took out about 7 so far.
So you're saying like 3 more?
I wouldn't be too surprised if it might be more like 3 dozen more, but it's kind of hard to tell from up here.
I'm not so good with math, but it feels like either of you.
It's like 1 for each antler on your horns. 1 point each.
Yeah, I mean, we could each be dealing with one guy apiece, or like several guys apiece.
Why men like his hook? Like, man, one each. You just gotta gore them all.
Yeah. Well, see, that's not a
You know,
problem.
I'm just gonna say there's a high probability that there's more than 3 more. You can take that as you want.
I think Orwell wants to take it head on.
I mean, if you're not liking our odds, what do? We smash and grab.
This is the first crew that dies.
We just like, take what we can of this technology. You know what's important. We take it back, and we fucking set it up at the Ark. And at the same time, we fuck these ghouls' production of water. What are they gonna do?
I'm seeing a lot of these pieces of technology bigger than you. I don't know that we're getting this all back there. I also don't have the time right now to study. I don't know what's important here. I just know that this controls that stuff. I don't know what's down there yet because we can't get down there yet. This is a map, essentially useless to how it actually runs here, but I mean, it tells us where to go.
Well, I'm not going back with nothing.
I mean, you got a couple of scrapes going on in there, some dents in your body armor. It's like a souvenir.
You can attempt to get down to the water basins and collect some water. I will say that I'll say that you guys have some kind of water collection contraption, right? Between the two of you, you would have come up with something, right? I will completely hand wave everything if Rufus would like to spend another mutation point and stealth down there. If not, you guys can roll for stealth and slip down there. That is entirely up to you guys how you want to do that. But that is something you guys can absolutely do, is sneak down there and snag some water and bring that back. The
I'm already naked, so let's go ahead and do this.
The machinery is
right.
enormous, so bringing that back is a no-go. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a d6 there, Rufus.
6.
You're good. You're fine. You stealth down there. You have whatever contraption you deem necessary, like a one of those water things you get in like an office cubicle, the water cooler. You bring one of those.
Cool,
and you can
yeah.
kind of carry this thing up there and give it to Orwell to slosh back and forth as you guys. Do you sneak out of this place? What's your plan to exit? Are you just headed right back to the Ark? Are you going to stick around here and observe?
Based off this makeshift map type thing I'm seeing, can I see if there's another way out?
Yeah, we'll say yes. There is so here's what you know. There is a fence line around the entire place. There's about 10 buildings here. Only 2 of them have been marked, right? The X and the O. The gate is the only way out, right? There's an actual gate that opens up. You guys went through a break in the fence. So you know that there's the break in the fence, which is right near this building, where there's a bunch of corpses. You know that there is the gate out of the front, which is like a big wide, trucks could go through it kind of gate. And there may be several other holes in the fence line for all you know.
So we book it out of here the way we came in and hope for the best. I mean, I could probably navigate us through to another way out of the building, but as far as we know currently, we only have the gateway in our current hole in the fence. So unless you have a way we can create new holes in the fence, or we get really lucky and potentially find a new one. Those are kind of our options. What are you all feeling?
Well, whatever way we go, the Scrap Hawk's gonna see us. And we know there's no ghouls left over here, so maybe this the way we came in is our best bet.
He's got a point about the ghouls. It's down here.
You think the Hawk has calmed down?
Oh God, no.
What if we carry a ghoul body above us? That way, if he tries to swoop in on each of us, we have one and we just toss it and it kind of catches it instead of us.
I like that.
It's not terrible.
All right, then. Yeah?
So we got to run out and grab a body and get it on top of ourselves.
There's 3 of them.
I'm carrying the bottle, so, cover me.
Cool. So you guys are going to exit this place, head back the way you came from, grab those 3 corpses you left there, and then book it, holding corpses above your heads, hoping for the best. That's what I'm picking up here?
Basically.
Fantastic.
Sounds like it.
Cool.
Because we haven't come up with worse plans before.
Hey, listen, here's where I throw a wrench in the works. The moment you guys exit the door, Hammurabi, who has been relatively quiet with his introspection in this, your eye catches something in the distance, Hammurabi. Your friends pull off to the left as if they're going back out the way they came, but you're drawn to something in the distance. There is what looks like the most intact vehicle you've seen ever. It appears to be some manner of large vehicle with a big tank on the back of it. 4 sets of looking like they're usable tires. It is rusted out. It looks like it's seen better days, but you could probably cram at least 3 people and a moose in there if you really tried for it. Might be uncomfortable for some of you, especially the moose, if you can get it to start.
Oh yeah. Ham Ham's gonna make a suggestion that we move towards said vehicle. I don't know how far away they are from. I'm assuming we're kind of running in a scattered formation.
Yeah, they kind of peeled off to the left, and you saw this. You came out, and you're like, "Oh no, that's a truck. That's my baby."
Yeah.
So you can kind of give them a little shout. It's probably not loud enough to attract the trash hawk, you think, but you'd have to give them a little bit of a shout. They kind of got around the corner of the side of the building.
Hey! This way to the thing. Just here, right there. We need to go to that. Let's go.
You see him pointing out a behemoth of metal with a large, some kind of tank attached to the back of this thing. You've seen him before. It's some kind of vehicle.
What is it?
It's an old go along. It's an old go along. They used to take them around everywhere back in the day. I swear I could get it running. I've read, I've looked at pictures and a lot of books and tinkered with a lot of things. I think this one is an old Volmo.
An old Volmo.
Yeah, the old man may have told me about these things once or twice in the past, but you honestly think that thing's still gonna work?
Have you ever seen one this intact? We need it.
No, I've only ever fixed a few pots on them here and there, not as an entire thing.
And apparently these things can make a days-long journey take hours. We can get back to the Ark in less than half the time it took us to get here. If we can get this thing to work, I can mess with it. I know enough, and you've got enough technical expertise. Together we can make something out of this.
Well, enough talking about it. Let's do it.
All right, we're doing it then. Let's go.
Yeah, I figure that the whole time he's like talking, and you guys are kind of tentatively moving towards him. He's moving towards it. Like, no, we can make something out of it. We gotta come on. Let's go.
All right. So you guys rush over there. You throw the cab door open. You see this is mangled, rotted vehicle. You think you can get it working, Hammurabi. It's going to take a little bit of tender love and care, but this thing can putter its way back home faster than you guys can walk. I will take a jury rig from you. You get a +1 for being a motorhead, and if Mason assists you, you get another +1 to jury rig.
I definitely will assist. I'm only good at repairing things.
Well, that's what you need to do.
Rather, I'm better at repairing things than I am at.
Yep. He's great at repairing vehicles. So you have an additional +2 to your jury rig roll. Whoo boy. So you pile in, moose horns rake against the top of this thing, and and you guys get this thing fires to life. It is loud, and the moment the engine fires, you hear that as the trash hawk notices you. But you guys are all quick enough to get inside this vehicle, and Hammurabi puts that pedal to the metal, and you feel more alive than you have the entire adventure as this truck takes off, and you bring squealing tires. You smash through the gate of whatever this compound is, and you like get this truck up on two wheels as you notice the slosh of liquid that is still in the tank. As you begin to spin this thing around and drive it back home. The downside is, for the first few hours, that you feel the wind coming behind you, as like not just coming forward from you as you're racing down. You feel the wind pushing back as this trash hawk follows you for a few hours. But as you leave its hunting ground, it turns back. You know there's a lot more water back there. You know there's a lot more work to clear it out. But you have found a very fresh source of very fresh water, if you can clean that place out. How you're going to explain this truck to the factions who didn't know you left is a different story entirely. But you guys are able to make it back to the Ark. Full tank of water to the gates of the Ark, where the stalkers guarding it open and let you guys drive that truck inside. Whatever consequences come from you sneaking out is something you have to deal with in the future. But you have successfully survived your first adventure into the zone. You guys may all check off 1 XP for being here. You may check off 1 XP for successfully completing your mission. And Hammurabi, you may check off 1 XP for successfully moving towards your character goal. If anyone else moved towards their character goal, you may also check off 1 point. I just know his was vehicle-based things.
Would we consider a giant worm an equal in combat that was defeated?
I don't think so. I think that trash hawk would have been an equal in combat for you. Yeah. I think if you 1v1'd that death worm.
I think if given the opportunity to have studied more of the plant, I could have possibly worked towards my goal more.
Well, you can always come back.
Yeah. Another time, perhaps.
That being said, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the premiere of Ruin Nation. Chat, if you enjoyed this, the best way to be a part of this is join our Patreon at the $5 tier. You can join our Patreon. You can subscribe here on Twitch. This is a game exclusive for those two kinds of people. This is a West Marches game. It is on you to come up with whatever quest you're going on. It is on you to find a party. It is on you to come to see me and say, hey, here's what we want to do. Here's who's doing it. This was episode 1 to give you guys a feel for the style of the game and for what's going on and to give you a feel for the world. That being said, let's jump around, introduce our characters and our cast here, and we're going to get the heck out of here. We'll start with our Moosey friend, Mooster Bitters. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Yeah, Mr. Bitters. I hate everything. You can find me here, hanging out, in the Discord sometimes and in the video games other times. Yeah, I dug it. I got to be a moose. Finally got to be a moose. I feel like the first time this system was discussed, it was like almost 2 years ago, and I made Orwell then. And I remade him, and here we are. We got to see him in all his glory. He was surrounded by wise guys, apparently, so that was a thing. But
in all his moosey magnificence.
Yeah.
See, we're around to make you feel more like the alpha male, right? you just deal with our bullshit knowing that it just makes you that much tougher.
That's probably true, yeah.
Perfect. Speaking of alphas and their males, Mike and Rufus and Mr. Coffee, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
They call me Alpha Mike.
Great.
All right.
Frags, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Man, I'm up to nothing. I don't do anything except for play Rocket League and shooting games with the two weirdos, the guy with the dog and the moose man. But yeah, no, this was really fun. What is it? The hung moose in the Discord?
Yeah.
You hop on in there. I think this little plot line was a good hook. There's a lot more left to be discovered. There's a lot more stuff left to do for the arc, for the story. So just because we played and discovered this plot line, doesn't mean that if you guys want to go in there and expand more on what we found and redo any of that stuff, that's a totally plausible thing.
Absolutely.
So, and if you're going to do that, maybe drop one of us a line if you need an extra person or something, and we can help add to the adventure. It'll be great. Had a good time.
Hell yeah. Last but not least, Ryan, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm Ryan, aka Rydom. You guys usually find me around the Discord. I help to organize our monthly community movie nights, which our next one is going to be scheduled for Sunday the 24th. So check out our Discord for more details about that in terms of what we'll be watching and even how we go about deciding what we watch. Aside from that, I play various video games and just kind of keep myself occupied in between my times of being on like this.
Yeah.
Testing out new games and such. This was actually a lot of fun.
Good, man. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. I'm glad you enjoyed it. With that, as Frag said, guys, go check out the Discord. That's the community hub. The best place to be a part of this game is we have an area called the Hung Moose. That's where you can roleplay in the Discord, find other players, find other characters, join on a mission, decide what it is, and bang, bang, boom, you're out there. The only stipulation is this game takes place on Saturdays. I will be as open as possible with the time frames in which I can schedule games. So just come to me and say, hey, does this time frame work for you? And I will do what I can to make it happen. Yeah, we'll put this on YouTube in a couple days. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And let's go raid our friend Encounter Roleplay. They are currently playing some Unrestful Hearts in the Garden of Glory. So give them all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all this to you guys, bye-bye.
Bye.